Hey, what's up? It's Chris from Brooker Films, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to shoot cinematic looking footage on your GoPro. So let's get into it. GoPros are amazing tiny action cameras that are designed to be mounted to anything or anyone to get shots that would otherwise be unachievable. Now, they are typically seen strapped to the heads of freerunners, mounted to surfboards, or seen plummeting towards the earth in the hands of skydivers. So the question is, can you shoot cinematic looking footage on one of these tiny action cameras? The answer is yes, but there are a few important things that you have to remember when shooting on one of these cameras to maximize camera quality. Nothing makes your video look more unprofessional than shaky handheld footage. So my first tip is to get the camera out of your hands and use a handheld stabilizer. GoPro have their own stabilizer. That's the Karma Grip. But there are so many other stabilizers on the market that do the exact same thing that this does. So do yourself a favor and grab a stabilizer for your footage. Now, before we start filming anything, we need to change the settings inside of camera to maximize the quality of the footage. So firstly, we're going to start with our resolution, and I'm going to set this to 2.7K. My next step is to remove that typical GoPro look. Now, I'm referring to the wide field of view. This is a serious warping that bends the horizon and distorts anything or anyone that comes too close to the camera. So to do this, we need to change our field of view from wide to linear. To do this, press FOV on your camera and change this to a linear. After that, we're going to set our FPS. That's frames per second. Now, slow motion makes everything look more cinematic and more epic. So we're going to set our FPS to 48, as this gives us the option to slow the footage down by 50%. Now, the default color profile on GoPro cameras is overly saturated, overly sharpened, and overly contrasted. Now, this footage may look fine, but the problem is when all of this information has been baked into the footage, it gives us very little room to edit and color grade in post-production. So we want to change our color profile to flat to maximize the information that we have in the edit, meaning we're going to be able to push our grading even further. To do this, we're going to swipe left on the home screen, select Pro Tune, and then change the color from GoPro to flat. Now, my last piece of advice to you is to always avoid filming in dark, low light situations. GoPro footage can look incredible in daylight environments, but the second that you start to film at night, you will notice that the footage looks really ugly and really grainy, and it just looks really amateur. So try and only film during daylight if you can. So once you've captured your footage, it's now time to get this onto the computer and get this edited up to look really cinematic. Okay, so once we have loaded up Adobe Premiere, we are going to need to import this footage. So we're just going to create a new bin, and we're just going to call this footage. And then we're just going to double click on the bin, and we're just going to right click or double click if you're on Mac. And we're just going to press import. Once we've found our files, we just need to import all of these MP4s, the WAVs, the LRVs, and the THMs do not matter. So I'm just going to search for MP4 in the GoPro folder, and I'm just going to import all of these. Press import. So once you've loaded all of those, we just need to close down this footage bin, and we need to create a new sequence. So we're just going to go back to the new item button. And we're just going to press new sequence. Now, we want to make sure that this sequence is 1920 by 1080 with square pixels and 23.976 frames per second. And we're just going to rename this Cinematic GoPro. Okay. So now you want to go back to your footage bin. You want to select all of these, and we're just going to drag these over into the sequence. And we're just going to make sure that we keep the existing settings. Okay, so now because these files are 2.7K, we need to adjust the crop of these. As you will see, these are way too big for a 1080 composition, so we're just going to adjust the scale to 75%. Okay, so we're just going to press the motion button, and we're just going to copy that. So we're going to press Command C, and then we're going to go back over to our project, our timeline, and we're going to press Command A and Command V. That's copied that onto all of these video files. Okay, so now that they're all the correct scale, we need to slow down the footage because it's currently playing in real time and we don't want that to happen. So we're just going to press Command A and then we're going to right click or double click, go up to speed/duration, and we're just going to adjust the speed to 50%. That's half time. So now if we watch this footage back, it should play back in perfect, beautiful slow motion. There we go. So because we shot these videos in flat, the videos currently look very washed out and very desaturated and not cinematic at all. So what I like to do is create a new adjustment layer. So we're going to go back over to our project, go down to new item and select adjustment layer. Make sure that's 1920 by 1080 and also 23.976 frames per second frame base, and press OK. So now we want to drag the adjustment layer on top of all of that footage and just make sure that covers the top of all of those video layers. Okay, so now we're going to go over to our effects tab and we're just going to search for Lumetri. And that's this one right here, Lumetri color. And we're just going to drag that on top of the adjustment layer. We're going to go over to our basic correction and we're just going to select the Alexa default LUT. Now, as you can see, that's applied a very basic color correction on top of all of the footage. But to take this footage to the next level, we need to adjust the saturation a little bit. So we're going to go back up to the effects tab and we're going to search for fast color corrector. That's this one. And we're just going to drag that back onto the adjustment layer and drag that below the Lumetri color. So make sure that one's on top. We're then going to pull the saturation up to 150. Okay, so once we've added the color correction and the color grading with this adjustment layer, we're just going to recreate some anamorphic bars. Now, these are the black bars on the top and the bottom that you typically see in music videos in Hollywood films. Just simply adding these black bars on top of the footage instantly makes your footage look more professional and more cinematic. So to do that, we need to go back to our project tab and we need to create a new item and we need to select new black video. And we're just going to press OK for that. We're going to drag the black video on top of the adjustment layer and adjust the size of that to cover all of the footage. And we're just going to repeat that process one more time. Perfect. Okay, so now we're just going to select both of those layers. Go to the effects tab and search for crop. We're just going to drag crop onto both of those. And then on the top layer, we're going to adjust the crop on the top to 85%. And then we're going to go to the second layer and adjust the crop on the bottom to 85% also. And that's it. Your GoPro footage now instantly looks a million times better. And that's it. If you enjoyed watching this video, then please do let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to press the subscribe button if you would like to see more videos like this one in the future. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I really do truly appreciate it. I hope you're having the most amazing day today. I will see you soon. Thanks for watching.